just know that I learned how to learn German. I learned how shitty this language is at some point.
Man,
It's really tough.
To be honest, like I'm always happy that I don't have to learn it. Like I don't know the rules. I just speak it. So I'm just like, fuck this. I'm like what is a declination? Declination is like a fucking conjugation of a noun. Is like, what are all these questions?
In German, we don't even have it for nouns. It's for we have nouns and articles.
Oh really?
So yeah, bro. Den, der, die. There's a declinations. Like ich esse den Salat. So you have to decline that. Man, I get questions all the time about this, and I'm like, I can tell you it's wrong. I don't know why.
I'll speak English, so yeah. All right, guys. So on this podcast, we have Marcel. He is a childhood friend, also a music producer, as well as working as an SEO specialist. And in this episode, we want to talk more about how artists on TikTok and Instagram create content and then funnel it into their music and making tons of money with it. And yeah, in general, would love to hear more about like Marcel, what you're actually doing, what kind of music are you doing? And yeah, let's get started.
All right, so well, basically I can go a little bit further into the past. I started playing piano actually when I was 12. I learned for 3 years, and then I was too cool to play the piano, so I wanted to learn the e-guitar, which I did like for 1 year. I was a skater boy.
I remember that time.
Rocking the guitar. You remember?
Yeah.
There were some good and some bad times. For example, when Lucas broke his leg.
That was really, definitely a bad time.
Oh yeah, that was really.
I don't know.
And
maybe some people laughed.
Like, oh, you don't have anything. It's just don't be pussy.
Bro, put some apple juice over it. Put some apple juice over it. The fucking Apfelschorle.
Actually, his leg was completely broken, and he has to go under surgery.
Bro, I broke two bones right there.
Yeah, really crazy. Okay.
All right.
Little drift off. But I think it was when I turned 16, me and my friend Fabrice, also a very good friend of us.
Yeah.
We decided to start a band, and we were collecting band members. So we started our first death metal band.
Damn.
And yeah, really sick. We did really, really sick stuff. But we were learning on the process. And there was a time when it was cool to have like electronic samples inside of your music. And this is when I started with getting in touch with electronic music production, because I was very interested how it works. And I started with a program called Reason. I would say it's by now I would say it's a very bad program. I don't want to to do negative promotion for the program, but it was really not easy to work with. But I did some things, and I got a really nice response from other bands. Like, how did you do it? Sounds so nice. Reminds me of X and Y. And then a friend came to me and said, "Oh, you should do drum and bass." And I was like, "Yeah, it's like pendulum stuff. I would love to do this." Like, and then I figured out
pendulum stuff. What is that?
What
does that mean?
It's drum and bass. Like Pendulum is a band. It's a very big band. Like every person in the drum and bass scene knows Pendulum. They're really big. They do headliner shows and everything, like super big. So I was trying to figure out how to program drums and how the pattern works and everything. And I was super happy with my results. And then comparing it to other songs, and it was like, this is dipshit. This is absolute trash. So, but it kind of was motivating to me. So I came into mixing everything, and like after 1 year of producing, I kind of fell in love with the liquid drum bass. It's like a more softer approach, more melodic, and a lot of piano. And this is the time when I like recovered my piano skills, because I had to apply this in music production, and I fell in love with piano again. And actually, after like 1 year, I got the first label contract for drum and bass.
Wow.
And this was a really sick time for me. And this was also a time where I learned that labels don't always provide value, which is also a reason why I'm not signed yet.
Probably good decision.
This was like, sorry?
probably a good decision that you don't have signed a contract yet or a label.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I did sign some label later on, but I will come to this. So I was doing drum and bass for a good amount of time, learning, practicing skills, and also came into mixing. And then some people come and say, "Oh, I want to do rap. Can you do beats?" And then you start like niching down into producing beats and everything.
Yeah.
It was super fun. Like, it's always good to change genres at some time because you know or you learn how they work, and you can apply this to your music as well, because there are always like elements in music that are very unique, and there are certain rules in genres that you can also take and put this into another genre, and this creates basically, you can create a new genre, or you have a special touch because you have all the information from the other genres.
Can you give an example for like one of these special touches from one genre into the next that made it unique?
I can point out a specific case right now in melodic house. There's a trend going on where they have not only, or melodic house artists have these break beats, and if you compare like these break beats now with the
what is a break beats, by the way?
Break
I am
beats
so
out of this
uneducated
genre.
in the music thing. It's like if it's not top 50 charts, if it's not Latin or reggaeton, I'm like, yeah, buddy, I think you lost me right there. So yeah, please go into detail.
Okay, so I try to make it simple, all right? So
Please.
melodic house, you have this 4 to the floor beat. No. And the break beat breaks this up. Actually, it's not really something that you would dance to, but something that you would listen to in the car, because it has it doesn't have this 4 to the floor rhythmic, but some like distinct other rhythms. It's basically drum and bass drum pattern, but slower.
Okay.
So
Nice.
the kick isn't at the one all the time, and it's really really nice to listen. There's some more hi-hats playing.
Is it
little-
more relaxing then?
Yeah, it's actually more relaxing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like
And
study
if-
music, or is it different?
No, it's different, but I think you can study very good to it as well. But it's not lo-fi beats, if you mean that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what I mean.
That's the thing I know.
Lo-fi,
That's where I enter the conversation again, right? I'm like, oh, no,
Yeah, okay,
I got
welcome
this.
back.
You got me there.
Yeah, but it's
Lucas
not
joined
that.
the conversation.
So if you compare break beats to the liquid drum bass back then, there are a lot of parallels between these music genres. Like there's a lot of piano, there's really melodic vibes underlying this drum pattern. So I would say break beats nowadays are a combination of liquid drum bass and melodic house, which created a new genre in itself.
So summing up, you basically got influenced by a lot of different genres, and then you can always take the beats from one to a different one. And like, was it liquid or what are the other?
Liquid
what are
drum
the-
bass and melodic
Yes.
house. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually.
And then, with what genre did you end up right now? What are you doing right now? Would love to hear more about that one.
So I kind of settled down in melodic house and also a little bit of melodic techno. Melodic techno is, I would say, a real trend right now. But by now, because many producers are also trying to get into this genre, I'm a little bit turned off because I think it's a real trend, and I don't want to be like part of a trend. But I applied some of these elements that make melodic techno into melodic house as well. So again, trying to find the middle between melodic house and melodic techno. So I would describe myself as a melodic house artist with a little bit more driving beats, because melodic house in itself can be very calm and subtle, but it can also be danceable. And that's what I try to achieve. Like you can listen to it very well in the car or while studying, doing sports, whatever. But in my opinion, you should also be able to dance to it whenever you have a show or something.
Makes sense. No, I agree.
I like it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I have no idea. I'm not an expert in this, but I like it. I like danceable music.
Yeah,
Let's put it this way.
actually.
So
That's the point for me.
So, guys, now talking about all the music, let's talk about the money part, all right? Because I think that's like
the money.
exactly. I mean, lately I've seen, like, for example, Marcel, do you know Connor Price?
No.
So Connor Price is he's an Instagrammer as well as TikTok guy. Well, let me just share my screen very quickly. Super interesting because in the end we always like the normal route of a musician is, as you say, like you sign a label, right? And then hopefully they promote you, and then you're getting like 16% of the cut, right? So most of the time the label gets all of it because they're doing all the effort. And now we're seeing more and more the trend that actually people doing TikToks as well as Instagram videos, promoting their own video or their music, and then funneling it into Spotify. Because you can clearly see, like, for example, Spotify is paying between 0.3 and 0.5 cents per stream. That is worth it. Now, I want to give the example of Connor Price. They're more than, like, another one is called Razi. I will show both of them, and it's quite interesting. And then I would like to get both of your opinions on this. Wait, let me share my screen very quickly. Connor Price, here we go. So, he is most famous probably. All right, so maybe let's start with this one. So, right.
You good? What is this?
What's up?
Oh, yeah, he's getting ready for a birthday party. Just ignore him. Ready to work on that banger? Sorry, I'm not feeling that today. What's wrong?
So
I don't really want to talk about it. I wrote some things down though. So do that again, but say this.
I've been feeling hopeless. Yeah, you know this. Haven't really been.
Oh, nice.
all right.
So basically, he's introducing different characters. So he has always this kind of way. He has like these short videos that are like up to a minute, I think, and there's different characters in it. There's always the producer guy. There's the awkward, I think, stepbrother that it was like on the birthday party, and there's another guy. So there's always these three interacting. He plays all of them himself, and then he creates different moods or scenarios. Where he then creates these shorts, and they're usually funny, and has this musical component in it. Obviously, it's a mix of acting because he used to be a child actor as well. He was pretty famous as well at some point, I think. He was in, I forgot which movie he was in, but he was in a big movie. Anyways, so he used that to then create more followers, etc., and then found that into
Also,
Spotify.
So he creates sometimes
Yeah, go ahead.
literally the shorts, and if they get traction, he then creates a song out of it, right? So for example, he
smart,
just
yeah.
had like a very short bit. For example, there's also one when he like has like a carrot flute, and then he creates it afterwards. So he's like, oh, I see there's demand for it, and when there's demand, he then uses it to basically just like create a song, and then funnels it into Spotify, and that's how they monetize. Also,
So it's a very similar model to Lean Startup
Yes,
methodology,
absolutely.
right?
It's like
So you have like
prototyping,
and
right?
hitting MVP.
yeah.
Exactly. You get the MVP out, you got the first traction, and then let's
you
fucking
do
go.
user
Build it out.
testing, and if it performs and
Yeah.
like your target audience likes it, you just make a whole thing out of it and
Yeah.
give it a go. And it's like proof. It's like science.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's super, super cool. And then the question is, all right, this works for music. Apparently, he does it. And what else do you think is possible? Do you think this would be something interesting for movies? Like, imagine there's fucking people creating trailers for some, I don't know, superhero flick or whatever, funny movie, and like with AI, and then afterwards they create it because the trailer went viral. Wouldn't that make it so much more successful, or the increase in money? You know what I mean? Because that's Hollywood
Yeah.
risk.
I
And this
but
way
I
not.
think it depends. I think like what I
Okay.
see in industry right now is that there's really good marketing and then the product sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is very negative, and this could be a problem if you have so easy tools to promote something, but then you can't deliver. So
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about that.
Also, I have to also say what basically I don't agree. I also don't think that making a movie out of it would be worth it because right, a trailer, even if it gets millions of views, you have to consider that the production cost of a movie is so much higher than a song. So for me, this is like interesting. For example, let's go through the financial part of, for example, how much Connor just makes, for example, each month, right? So we did a quick math there. He gets each month roughly over 7 million monthly listeners. So then you just like calculate with the right? And then he gets like he has to like let's calculate with like 7 like it's 70% he can keep the money, and then 0.3 cents per each per listen, and that makes him so yeah, he can make a lot of money with that. Wait, let me just do the quick math.
So you're
here.
calculating for Spotify alone right now, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you don't have a label, etc., because he does it himself, right? He does it all himself. I think that's an interesting way. That's what you said. You can keep everything. Well, beside the Spotify
all
cut,
the fees that go
'Cause they're
off
cutting
also
30%.
depends on the provider that you upload your stuff to.
Yeah. Well, how much is out of the providers? What other providers are there?
You know, if you're independent artist, I personally work with Distrokid. This is a platform where you can upload your music, and they upload it to every streaming platform out there. And they have some really nice opportunities. For example, there's YouTube Music, and you can also do content ID. This means if YouTube plays your song somewhere or someone else has your song in their videos whatsoever, they will collect the money from the content ID, and they will send you a message XY used your video. This is a really, really nice opportunity that Distrokid provides. I also started uploading music back then when I didn't know of Distrokid before with CD Baby. This is also like a
CD
platform. It's called CD Baby, yeah. But there are so many more, and it always depends on your approach. Like, I have a friend, he has a label as well, and he's working with a whole other platform because it's just too big, and you know, everything has its positive and negative sides. But there are actually a lot of providers, and I personally would say for my approach, Distrokid's the best for me.
And how much do they take? Let's talk numbers.
I pay actually right now I think 89 euros a year for this. But there also for every song that you upload, there are fees attached to it. For example, I think content IDs. I don't want to lie here. I think it's like 15 euros a year or something for each song.
Okay, but it's not a variable
and
cost.
And they take 30% of the money from YouTube as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
this
there
can
is something
vary
like that.
between the providers, I think.
So, but how do they get the YouTube monetization? How does that work? Because you're uploading the video on YouTube. Are they doing that?
They are also uploading the music to YouTube.
On what channel?
There's YouTube Music channel. For example, also Distrokid. With Distrokid, I can tell Distrokid that my personal YouTube account is also my YouTube Music account, and so it's linked. When I upload a song, it will appear on my YouTube account as well as a video, and it shows the cover of the song. Yeah, it's really, really, really convenient.
Mind blown just now.
Yes, it's really
what the heck
good.
is happening
So
here?
if you're interested in all that stuff, you should check out Distrokid. It's really crazy what they do. They provide so much value for independent artists. Maybe other platforms are doing that as well, but I can only speak of Distrokid because there I have the experience.
Wow, this is super cool. All right, so they do all that kind of stuff. But do they also take the money out of your, out of the ones that you upload yourself, or the video?
No. Well, actually, this is a thing I would love to know because, I got my money for August, and there's some more in from Content ID, and I uploaded my mix like 2 months ago, and it just hit over 1 million views. And maybe,
Oh,
thank you.
congrats, bro.
And maybe I think like the royalty statements from Content ID may be related to that video, maybe because I think I have 15 songs or something in that mix, and 3 are mine, and I got some money from Content ID, maybe because I can't monetize this video because I don't have the rights of the other songs, but YouTube is doing advertising on it. Okay, so maybe with Content ID, I get like partly my money from that video as well. But I'm not sure about that. Like next week or something, I want to go into research if I can get a more detailed view of Content ID, where the money comes from.
After our short intro with our sponsor, we're back to the show. All right. So where were we? All right. So you just talked about YouTube ID, and then I think in August when we saw you in Germany, you were also talking about monetizing. I think playlists. I think you mentioned it somehow. Can you explain that concept? How playlists work on Spotify? How it works? What are the tricks that artists use to monetize their own content or etc.?
Okay, yeah, so it's all about Spotify playlists. This is a super big life hack, I would say, for especially independent artists. I have a friend, he's called Remor. Right now he's also with Warner Music, and he has, I think, around 600,000 or 700,000 monthly listeners and
nice.
multiple million plays. He grew like years before Spotify playlists. And this is crazy because these playlists are big. I think one playlist has over 100,000 followers, and you can imagine what kind of value this provides. Even if you upload your own song, put this into the Spotify playlist, and 100,000 people will listen to it. In terms of money, there's a lot actually. And then there's also platforms called SubmitHub, where you can, when you're independent artist or maybe labels as well, and you want to promote your song, you can pitch these songs to Spotify playlist curators. And this is like, you have a credit system in there, so you pay, for example, I don't know the exact relation, but you pay, for example, $30 for 30 credits. And they're bigger and smaller playlist curators, and the one costs 3 credits and the other one 2. And you can pitch the song to them, have a short message, and then they decide if they put your song on their playlist or not. And they have to respond within 48 hours. And they have to provide feedback why they don't take it if they don't take it. And this is actually really nice because it has value for the artist, for the money, and for the playlister as well. So the playlister, the curator gets some money, and the artist gets some nice feedback, and in the best case, he gets some nice placement at a big playlist. And this, this also feeds the algorithm, because if you bring your song to a playlist where similar songs are playing, you will get into Spotify Radio, because Spotify learns this artist is part of this genre. So, it's all about the algorithm. And more plays, more views, people click on your song. If they like them, they save them and everything. So this is a big game. Really, playlisting is a big game.
That actually reminds me of, because I'm always like, for a long time, I saw on Instagram, like advertisement for Spotify playlist. I was like, why would somebody pay to acquire a user for their playlists if it's free to listen to, right? So for me now it all makes sense, right? Because I was like, why?
Well,
Like,
what are they monetizing on there? Just their own clip? Just their own music is monetized on Spotify, or your entire playlist?
Just your own music. But if you have a big playlist, as I said, you can make a business out of it, because if you're really big, labels will approach you and say, okay, we give you X amount for placement for X amount of time.
Yeah.
So there's with playlists on Spotify, there's actually money to be made.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, I
So
always
it's
see
basically
like
an ad placement, just product placement. It's like you have the shelf space and you're just like...
you build an audience, you build followers, and people can use these followers for money. That's the business model.
I wonder if they better monetize than emails or something, and how valuable the target audience is. How they even define target audience, Because in, let's say, SEO and everything, I mean, we're familiar with that. Target audiences are usually defined on, first of all, what product are you buying? Are these people wealthy, etc.? How does it work with listeners, and what kind of information do you get about your listener, right? The target audience, besides
Basically,
age,
just
and gender.
demographics.
Okay.
Demographics. And you also get, like, in the lower section, people also listen to. Like, if the algorithm learned where you belong to and what your audience look like,
Where you belong to.
where you belong
Oh, where
to,
you belong,
actually.
my friend.
You belong. The algorithm knows you're part of this genre, and your listeners tend to listen to X and Y. I think Spotify is good for some people and bad for some people, because algorithm is always good and evil, and the algorithm can either work for you or against you.
Yeah, I mean, there's always this breaking, or I heard this in Facebook, etc. Back in the day, businesses were just completely destroyed because the algorithm changed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Crazy, like how much an algorithm nowadays, how dependent we are on these platforms, like internet businesses. Let's put it this way: great opportunities, but great risk.
I was about to say, this is also like, yes, at the same time, yeah, it might be a risk, like the algorithm, etc. But then at the same time, you can, first of all, you don't need labels any longer, right? So for example, Connor Price is a great example for this one.
Actually, yes.
You have basically you have control over the entire funnel, right? Because like maybe he acquires, for example, users via TikTok, via Instagram, or shorts on YouTube, right? So different platforms. So you mitigate the platform risk by going on multiple platforms, right? And so you can go very specific. And as well, like YouTube, to be honest, like once you have the followers, let's say you have your 5 million followers, etc., like people will go, like for example, I set up my YouTube, they don't see any in the Explore page because I don't want to get distracted, but I always go to, on the left side, like to the people that I follow, right? So I see, it's a new video there. And then once you have the followers, it's very unlikely, especially on YouTube, that you get shafted by the algorithm, because in the end it's like, I'm just, here's a new video, I'm going to watch it. So once you have the audience, it's very hard.
But YouTube is more of a search engine versus
exactly.
Yeah, I think YouTube is very different because I have an example for myself.
Please
go ahead.
So as I said, like 2 months ago, I uploaded a Melodic House mix. It was like 1 hour, and now it hit like 1.1 million views. And like one month later, I uploaded the Melodic Techno set in a really nice, I think it was really nice, in a forest setting. And by now it has, I think, 6,000 views. So I have over 10,000 subscribers. So calculating, not every one of my subscribers watched the videos. And actually, it wasn't played out to every of my subscribers because, I don't know, the algorithm was working against me.
Yeah. But don't you see also in YouTube analytics where there was actually, from the 6,000 people that watched it or views, how many of them were actually your followers and how many came from organic traffic, right? So you can see search engine, etc.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can see all of this. And I can say just a few of my followers were seeing this video.
Oh, damn.
He's mother.
But it's okay. I'm learning about my audience, and maybe they are just not into melodic techno, and that's absolutely all right. So for the next set I'm planning for, like, in a few weeks, I know it's gonna be melodic house.
Let's go.
I have an off topic or maybe related topic. Have you ever seen that dude who did like he started off, I think, his career in, I think it was a YouTube video. He's like in a restaurant and he's like, all the single ladies give a fuck. I don't know. He's like, I don't know his name is. He's always in a bathrobe and he always has funny music videos.
No, I have no idea.
Does he do mixes?
Yeah, he does mixes as well.
Yeah, I think I know who you mean, but he's actually German. I think he's from Berlin, right?
I think
Do
so.
we mean
I
the
think so,
same?
yeah.
It's Chris Luno.
Chris Luno. Wait.
You look him up. Maybe it's him.
Luno.
Let's see.
And he does mixes like in the car, driving, having the DJ set up on his lap.
No, it's a different guy. It's a different
That's
guy.
a different guy. Okay.
Different guy.
Mark, do you mean the guy, for example, when he's like, for example, with the cat, with the guy like, oh no, and the cat moving like this, and he makes a remix of it on Instagram?
No. Don't worry. I'll try to find it, guys. I'm gonna put it in the show notes. This guy is hilarious. Anyways, I just wanted to come back to Marcel. What is your strategy for the future? Do you think you're gonna go down also the rabbit hole of Instagram, TikToks, like short reels, and this kind of way, or how do you want to grow your audience? Are you just gonna create massive YouTube videos that you hope that are going to be bangers? And what's the plan?
Yeah. So, as you already stated, you can be like music comedian and do some funny stuff, but that's actually, it works really well. Like, I know a ton of YouTubers that go this road and it's really nice, but
If you're
it's
funny.
not my way. Huh? Because
said,
they're
if
really
you're
funny.
funny.
And yeah, because I'm not funny. I'm just serious.
You're German, so we're German, so you can't.
I'm German, yeah. Du musst pünktlich sein. No, so for me, I want to go the road that I do like nice mixes that people love to listen to. And I will go the DJ route. So I actually want to play shows. And like so many people, right, come to Toronto, come to, I don't know, India, like people around the world are sending messages, come visit us, play some nice shows. This is the road I actually want to go. And also I have 3 playlists right now on Spotify and I want to grow them. Every time I upload a mix, I create a playlist and people can follow that playlist. Like, for example, all the melodic house tracks that you hear in my mixes on YouTube, they're in this melodic house playlist. I think right now it has like 800 or something, not really much followers, but it will grow by the time. And this is like just a process that comes passively right now. Because
is there an active way that you influence the growth?
I want to do next year. I will start promoting it on Instagram, on Meta, and maybe TikTok and something. I did this before as well, and it was performing great. Really, like performance marketing for playlists works great, especially on TikTok. TikTok is CPM wise very cheap, and you get a lot of views for low cost, and this works perfectly. So this is a plan for next year as well. This year, my priorities were a little bit different because I wanted to work on my songs and on my sound actually more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah.
Makes sense.
So actually, also, yes, I'm independent artist, but right now, some labels are approaching that I can identify myself with. So I'm considering working with them as well.
Don't sell out. Don't sell out. We learned about it.
I will think about this because, as I said in the past, I was disappointed by labels because they were taking all the money, not providing any value for me. So it's like philosophy for me. I'm not looking for a label to fit in, but I'm looking for a label that fits to my philosophy. So
that's
like
how
a
it
different
should be.
approach. Yeah.
That's how it should be. All right. I still
Also
have a
for
final
life.
question.
Yes,
Question,
sure.
Marcel. Where can people find you? What are the playlists? Where can we plug you in so they can find you and that awesome
So
music that you're making?
If you want to sub on my YouTube account, you can just type in Motry, Motry, and you will find it immediately. Also, you can like type in Motry Summer Mix, and you will find me even more easy. Also, you can find me on any streaming platform. Just type in Motry, and actually, you should find it there. On Instagram, it's Motry Music. Please leave a like and a follow, and I actually love the interaction between all the people. I get so many messages and comments, and I'm so happy about this. Like people writing me that they listen to my mix for 3 weeks in a row every day, going to work, making them happy, helping them through difficult times, and this is where my heart is actually.
That is really cool.
That's
I've
how
never
it
had
should
that.
be.
We only get shit talk when we release our app, bro. This is not working, bro.
It's like, Mark,
I'm
I
like,
think we're in
it's
the wrong
free, though.
industry. I was like,
Different industry.
exactly, gamers. It's like, nothing of this is working. You promised me this. Why is it not working?
Stop
like,
being
bro, it's a free
ungrateful.
Awesome. All right, guys. I would say that's the pod.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, Marcel,
Well,
thanks for having you.
Thanks for having me. It was very nice with you
course.
guys.
Likewise, bro. Let's go, my boys. Woo!